tuning in to another episode of the Berardo Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Berardo. Each episode, I focus on giving you fun, entertaining content on health, happiness, positivity, and anything else that's important to us humans. If you haven't already, you can follow me on Instagram at the Berardo, and don't forget to subscribe to the show by visiting theberardo.com/thepodcast, or just click that little subscribe button wherever you're listening to the podcast. Thanks again, and enjoy the episode.
You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
This episode is brought to you by our friends over at Superfat. So, one of the biggest things that people ask me is how to stay healthy. What are some good tips and tricks? Because let's be honest, especially we're all on lockdown. That's like the hardest thing to do, right? Is to actually eat healthy without sitting on your ass and doing nothing and taking junk food. Well, personally, I think the easiest way to get yourself in the habit of finding things that actually help you out with that sweet tooth is to actually have something that tastes and that you love, that you're going to keep eating and you're going to be in the habit of eating. Please enter Superfat. So Superfat is the keto snacks. They have nut butter. They have keto cookie bites. They even just came out with brand new baking mixes. I'm obsessed with these things. So you can actually have healthy keto brownies and keto pancakes. I know you'll love these things as much as I do, especially the keto cookie bites. If you're ever looking for that, snack while you're watching a movie, or, you just want something like in between the day that's healthy, it helps you out with that sweet tooth. Superfat has all the snacks you need. You can visit superfat.com, use the code Berardo10, and again, you won't regret it. They got nut butters, they got keto cookie bites, they got baking mixes. Literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they got you covered. Or if you just want a little, snack to treat yourself, superfat.com, use the code Berardo10, you're going to get 10% off. And we're also brought to you by our friends over at Rainforest Bowls. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm recently super obsessed with Rainforest Bowls. Not only do they have great products, but the company's goal is to promote sustainability by reclaiming reusable materials like coconut shells and wood cutoff, which in turn they'll make these really gorgeous food-safe kitchenware. And they'll also make our purchases more meaningful by giving back to their partner in the Vietnam or the Vietnamese community. It's hard to say, Vietnamese community, by working with Trees for the Future. So they'll actually plant one tree for every single product sold. So the one bowl that you pick up, or the one, kitchenware that you decide to pick up at Rainforest Bowls, it's actually going to go to a good cause. It's going to be planting a tree. One of their many eco missions is to plant over 1 million trees within the next couple years. Year to date, they've actually planted over 10,000 trees. You can visit rainforestbowls.com to read about their mission statement and how you can help. And remember, every single purchase, no matter how big or small it is, every single purchase is going to a good cause at rainforestbowls.com. If you want a discount, use the code THEBERARDO and you're going to get 20% off your entire purchase. Pick up bowls, you can pick up utensils. They have some really cool plates and cups, bamboo straws, whatever you want. Use the code THEBERARDO and you're going to get 20% off your order. But let's do another cheers.
Cheers.
Ding. Oh, those glasses didn't. Ding. All right. Well, ladies and gents, what's going on? Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Berardo Podcast. It would not be a Berardo Podcast without my lovely wife. She is forcefully on this podcast at least about once a month now. We're doing it once every 5 weeks. I try to do what I can to get you on the show. You looking at your Apple Watch? Are we bothering you, young lady?
No, I just wasn't sure what it was.
But thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate you coming to the studio.
Thanks for having me
Up here.
in my own house.
But this is cool. Lots going on. It's almost Christmas.
Is there a lot going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for us, we've done a lot
Oh yeah.
since last we spoke publicly on the podcast.
Yes.
Obviously we've become accustomed to the house.
Yes.
Which is very exciting. We've done a lot. You've done a lot of decorating. A lot of work has been done. Of course.
Too.
Yeah. Yeah. We're almost done with the backyard. Ripped up the grass and gonna lay some concrete. Been doing some manly stuff, throwing down some throwing down some block and things like that,
And picking up heavy things and putting them down.
lifting things up and putting them down.
Oh.
And yeah, we're gonna build a little brick oven pizza. Have a little mozzarella out there,
Mm.
you know. So big things, and of course it's almost Christmas, so it's a very, very exciting time of year.
Sure. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's a weird time of year though
Very weird this year.
to celebrate
I-
Christmas.
I still don't feel like it's coming like Christmas. I don't feel like it's a thing.
Well, what's the one thing that doesn't like? What stands out the most about it not being Christmas?
Just not having to coordinate families.
Yeah.
Because we're usually having to be like, okay, well, on this day we'll go to see my parents, and on this day we'll go to your dad's house. And
Mhm.
what time are they going to do gifts? Because then we can either go see your mom before that, or we can see her over the weekend, or we can see her the day before Christmas Eve. It's a whole thing.
It's almost like to the point where I'm kind of happy. Like I'm sad.
Yeah. I mean, the hustle and bustle, even though it sucks at the time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like how often do we get to see our families like within a couple of days of each other, like
Yeah.
actually spend quality time, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes doing it all together too.
Yeah. Like we'll do Christmas Eve with my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, my mom has come to, your dad's.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, no, it is. And I guess I'm kind of accustomed to doing stuff separate anyway, just because, my parents have been divorced since I was like 15. So I haven't really had like one big Christmas like I used to.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of used to it, but yeah, it's definitely kind of weird. I feel bad for kids, obviously, children that can't have those big family Christmases.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've never really had to coordinate Christmases family-wise, to be fair, until we've gotten together, just because you're actually, involved with your family.
Yeah.
It's always just been me. Like Christmas Eve was always with my parents, and then like over Christmas weekend, or sometimes we would go to like Nicole's house on Christmas Eve and they would have a big party. And then Christmas Day, I just hung out with my parents in our pajamas all day long, and we were just bums.
Which
all
is never a bad
No.
thing.
So, but then it's kind of fun to kind of hustle and bustle and, try to figure that out and hang out with everybody. It's tiring. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's definitely exhausting. But I mean, this whole year has been
Shit show.
tiring, yeah, and a shit show. So,
Yeah.
But the one good thing about it is though, hopefully everybody is spending, holidays and leading up to it. I know we are taking care of what we got to take care of, doing what we got to do, and even though it doesn't really feel like Christmas, there's a lot to be excited about, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm indifferent
Yeah.
about how it's going. I mean, it's going to be nice to kind of just be us two for actual Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Which we haven't done that
Ever.
since we've been together, yeah.
But, I mean, we weren't planning on getting each other gifts, but then last minute we did, and that's the quickest I've ever fucking Christmas shopped in my life.
Yeah, that never happens. Why is that, you think? You just kind of knew what you were getting into and just pulled the trigger?
Well, and it's also, I'm an indecisive person by nature. So, like, as much as I love perusing around the mall, then I go into different things and I overthink what to get you, because at the end of the day, I know what wins with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, obviously I want to be like sentimental, and I see all these things and I'm like, oh, that would be cute to get.
Yeah.
And then I end up spending buku bucks. But this time I was just like, we told each other exactly kind of what we wanted. Maybe some odds and ends that we can throw in there. But I literally Christmas shopped in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, which is huge.
I was like, add to cart,
Boom.
order.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
And that's what's kind of weird too, right? Like about just shopping in general. During COVID, we probably have all had certain vices. Like, for you, it's Target. Well, I think for like 95% of women, it's Target. But when you go to Target, it's a shit show. So you're spending so much time in there. You're spending so much money on probably pointless stuff. I'm sure some stuff you need,
Yeah.
but more often than not, it's like knickknacks because they have the cutest knickknacks in the world. Everyone knows it.
No.
And unfortunately, they have the the same stuff that like Walmart does, but it's just sexier and it's cooler to go in there because you get a window shop. But we all know window shopping is, it's dangerous. I always kind of think, because you and I disagree on this, because you love window shopping because you have self-control. So I don't have self-control with a lot of things. And I figured it out because I realized that the reason why Target is so appealing to women is because more often than not, women have self-control. They just like the aesthetics. Right. Thank you. It's almost like you rehearsed that.
But we didn't.
We didn't. But they like the aesthetics of it. Men don't. Men are, they're men of action. They like to do things. Impulsive. And I kind of relate that to like sex. Like women could easily just turn it off and just be like, not tonight, sweetie. But men, there's no like off switch. Like we can't control to turn it off. We just, when we want it, just deal with it. It might not be the best thing in the world, but you're just going to have to power through. And if you don't, then we're just going to have to wait for you to leave and we're going to have to take care of ourselves. Because that's just, we're that gross, impulsive dude. So we're the same way when we go out. So when I go out, I don't like to window shop. I just like to go and buy things.
Yeah.
Like you've seen it. It's a horrible sight to behold.
Yeah.
But you guys have
self-control. That's why I always laugh, because when I say I'm going to go to Target, you go into like this panic mode, like I'm going to spend a lot of money, and I end up not spending anything.
Right.
But I filled my void. I come home sometimes maybe with one thing, but it was the one thing that I needed.
Yeah. But you'll spend 2 hours in there.
Yeah. And happily.
You're right.
Just browsing around. You
So
don't know how
strange.
many things I do put in my cart and it makes me feel better to put it in there, and then I go ahead and put it back.
Yeah.
Because then I start adding it up and I'm like, well, that's a lot.
Right.
Or like if I go and get things that I need, I'll maybe throw in one or two things that I don't need.
Yeah.
And then I'm good. But it'll be like small things, like a $7 thing or like a $10 thing, where it's not, I'm going to walk out of there spending like $200 on bullshit. Like I'll still get everything, but I'll come home and I'll be happy as a clam.
Yeah. And again, that's what's weird. I think that it's taught us during COVID, that's your vice. So everyone's got like a vice out there, whether it's Target or whether it's like, going to the mall or going to, Foot Locker if you're into sneakers, like whatever it is, you have that vice. And I think we've realized during this time that nothing really is that important to have a vice. Like it's okay to window shop and things like that, but to actually pull the trigger and buy things, we talked about this last time where, you had some Christmas ideas of what you wanted, and they were fucking shoes. That's what you want. All right. Santa will give it to you. But again, they're shoes, and you haven't worn heels except for like maybe once a week for the last 8 months. The rest of the time, it's, let me see your feet. Right. Socks or slippers. I mean, I'm wearing them now too. I get it. But to buy shoes, that's why when we had the conversation about clothes, like, let's buy clothes. I mean, come on. It's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how much
that's
money.
The thing. Like, the shoes that I wanted are just comfortable, like low heel, like little booties that I can slip on. Because with guys, it's easy. With guys, it's easy. You guys can throw on a sneaker, a nice jean, and a nice jacket, and you look put
sharp.
together. But if I put on sneakers, jeans, and a nice jacket, I just look like a schmuck.
A 13-year-old boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I throw on like a cute little booty, jeans, and a nice jacket, I look a little bit more put together and comfortable. So bringing me to the point, for example, I wore heels, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, we went on a date night, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
My feet and my ankles hurt for fucking 3 days. And first at first I didn't know why. And then I was like, holy shit. I put on heels the other day.
I'm not used
and
to it.
now my ankles and the balls of my feet are fucking sore. Like I've been walking on my tippy toes, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Walking on my tippy toes forever.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just be able to like
Dress up and you want to look presentable and good. I get it.
like when we go out, because obviously in these past 9 or so months,
Yeah.
I'm not great.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a struggle to put on pants. I'm in socks or slippers all day.
Yeah.
I'll throw on a sweatshirt. I went to fucking Home Depot with no bra on.
I know, it was great for me. I knew it the whole time too. I just didn't say anything.
You didn't know it.
I knew it.
I was wearing a tank top and a sweater, and I sat in the closet for a minute, and I was like, should I put on a bra? No. I put on a jacket. No one was the wiser.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky in Florida because you could add some layers. If it was like a summer day,
Then I would
those
have
babies
to
will be perking out.
wear, then I would have to wear a bra, and that's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely it's made me reevaluate what I have in my closet. Not saying that we're materialistic, but I think a lot of people are, and I think a lot of people need to realize. Like I was talking to Kirky the other day, my buddy Justin. He's like, he just sent me something, or he sent me a text or something because I think I was doing something in the backyard or something. He's like, hey man, looks like your money's going to good use or some shit like that. And then somehow we got into like the conversation of when, we were growing up. This is, I don't know, 10 years ago, I think. And, we were in business together. He had like 13 watches. He was like, he still is. He's a big watch collector.
Mm-hmm.
And he's realizing now at the age of 35 that he only wears maybe 1 or 2 watches a week because he has an Apple Watch. It's like all these thousands and thousands, $10,000 probably, $20,000 he wasted on watches. And then eventually those watches are going to either end up in the trash, they're going to get passed down. And again, like if you try to give your kid like a nice watch, like a $500 Fossil watch, that kid's going to be like, this is great, but does it count my steps? Does it track my heartbeat? And can I SOS? Like there's just
very niche.
It's a very niche, but there's newer things all the time. Same thing with clothes, same thing. So it's almost like you got to think to yourself, not that you have to predict the future and know that trends change, because they do, but it's almost like fixed expenses and things that for sure are going to stay, like a backyard. We're putting money in the backyard. That makes sense because it's not like, we're going to see another backyard and be like, hey, let's rip up the backyard and redo the concrete and spend another 10 grand to redo. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, we're going to have a brick pizza oven or brick oven pizza. Like, we're going to have a brick oven pizza. It's not like there's going to be better brick that is going to come out in 10 years or let's replace the brick. It's going to make better pizza. So it's like, that's like a fixed expense that kind of makes sense. But like when we talk about all these other things that we're wearing and we're constantly changing, you really realize how like idiotic some of the stuff is. Not necessarily shoes or anything, but you know what I mean? Like certain things. But then
it's like, I always laugh because I have stuff in my closet that I've had for a very long time.
Right.
But it's funny because like, for example, like the 90s came back. So like what was cool when I was in middle school automatically made a comeback, and I'm like, well shit, I had all that stuff and I gave it away.
Yeah.
Because when the fuck was I going to use butterfly clips or a rainbow choker or
acid wash jeans or something
or
like that.
platform fucking ugly ass sandals. Like I just didn't think that would ever come back. So it's like now people sometimes tend to hold on to stuff just because you never know when it's going to come back. And it's like, I don't want to spend the money to be on trend.
Right.
But then
that's a good point.
Also being in this situation, I've realized that my closet doesn't have a variation as much as I'd hoped.
Right.
So it's either I'm super dressed up.
Yeah.
Or I'm a super not slob, but a super bum.
Yeah.
Like I don't have an in between because I was going to work, so I would dress up and then I would come home and I would just throw on a long t-shirt and some socks.
And that was it.
But it's like now, and it goes back to like tap into like mental health here. So like being stuck at home, that's something that this is the first time many of us are experiencing. All of us, technically.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some people that thought that this was like, whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. This is the first time that people are forced to be locked in. They're at home all the time. So obviously that's going to take a toll on your mental health. Now, with that, there are steps that you can take to help in the fact that you're staying home and working from home and you're home all the time.
Yeah.
So like, even if it's somewhat getting ready is
Right.
helpful. So like, if I get up and it might sound gross, but like I brush my teeth, I'm like, God damn, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like making your bed.
Yeah. You make the bed, or
Yeah.
you put on pants that day, or like you have a matching set of pajamas and you wear that.
Sure.
And you're like, automatically you kind of feel a little bit more put together.
It's like little micro goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great point. And that also kind of adds into like, if it wasn't COVID, like if you weren't home, you won't think about that because you're like running and gunning and trying to get to work, on time. You're not thinking about those little accomplishments. And sometimes those little accomplishments, like you said, do, help you out mentally to get through the day.
Like, even if it just takes, I'll get up 30 minutes early, take a quick shower. And that right there, you already feel a little bit more put together.
Get things going, yeah.
You're just like, all right, cool. So that's the thing, like,
For sure.
when it comes to the shopping, like, I know I've kind of spent money on, like just loungewear, just to kind of semi be put together. That way I feel like I'm accomplishing something with my life besides just like
lounging.
Meh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like there's something to be said about doing some type of process, like getting up out of bed, grabbing coffee, going upstairs, sitting at your desk. Eventually, that mood kind of goes back to like, well, it feels like I'm just laying in bed, so I'm just going to act accordingly. Well,
there's a great book that I have. It's I think it's 13 Rules. What is it? 13 Rules of Life or something? It's by Jordan Peterson. I think it's 13 Rules of Life. I forget. I haven't read it in a while, but the one of the big things he talks about is making your bed, like literally and figuratively. Like making your bed, waking up every day. The first thing you should do is you should wake up and you should make your bed, because that's the first accomplishment that you're going to get for the day, and it kind of sets the tone for everything. So like if you wake up and you grab your phone and you get your coffee and, like you get up and open up your laptop and you try to work, or if you got to go to work, you hop in the car, you get ready, like whatever, like there's nothing to kind of like let you know that the day has started. Like sometimes you're always in that rush to like get to the next step. So like when you wake up, first thing you should always do is make your bed. Like even if you sit in it for a while, that's okay. You get up, you kind of straighten up your pillows, you get things kind of organized. And then if you want to sit down and relax and read a book or drink your coffee or watch TV or something for a little bit, that's okay. But get your shit together, because it's almost like,
you're starting chaotic.
Right. Because like we've had this convo too. Sometimes I'm the worst. Like I'm usually clean with other stuff, but like right now I have all these jackets hanging out by the bed.
And they're going from the bed to the floor, to the floor, to the bed, to the bed, to the floor.
Yeah, because I normally keep them in like, an airtight thing, but it's been like 50 degrees in fucking Florida lately. So, but I don't have a place for it in the closet. Because again, I have all this shit that I don't wear. It's just hanging out in the closet. Or else I would just throw away some stuff and put the jacket. But I know that by the time I find a spot for the jackets to hang in the closet, it's going to go back to like 80 degrees, and I'm going to have to put them in a airtight,
Not
seal.
Anymore. We're in this big ass house.
Yeah.
The guest room. We just got to get more hangers to hang all of our jackets in the guest room.
But yeah, that to me, when I see it, it automatically upsets me. So, but and I think that has a lot to do with almost mentally, right? When you talk about cleaning your room, you want it to be clean, like physically, but also mentally too, because if you have like clutter everywhere and shit lying around, it's almost like you have shit in your brain lying around.
Yeah, it's anxiety inducing.
Yeah. So it just doesn't fucks with your mental health.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I was making the bed. I need to get back to making the bed, but like this past week I've been slacking on it, but I was making the bed there for a few weeks.
What's the holidays? So you can slack. Fuck it.
Yeah, but I mean, I need to get back to that because then, like you said, it kind of builds that little bit of, okay,
Yeah.
it's go time, honey.
Let's do it.
Get your brain together.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, those jackets, we need to get fucking hangers.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
And maybe closing the drawers. That too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I really don't know, but every time I walk downstairs into the bedroom, all the drawers are pulled open like someone rummaged through them, and you just leave them like that, and it's insane. I'm like, one of these days I'm going to come in here and the dresser's going to be on the ground face first with the TV crashed on the floor because all the weight is to the front. I honestly, I have videoed it every day. It's been every day.
I don't know.
Actually,
I can't be good at everything.
one day, I think you left, I can't remember if it was a drawer in the kitchen, and I hit it with my hip. And boy, oh boy, was the rage real. Because I had just
were you walking with your eyes closed? How does that happen?
I just wasn't expecting it because I came around the corner like by the pantry, and it was the utensil drawer. And I came around the corner, I was holding stuff, and it nicked me, and I was instantly pissed because I had just closed the drawers in the bedroom that you had left open. And I was like, fuck, why is he doing that? Because in the condo, it was leaving the dishwasher open.
Well, I do that to air it out.
Sure.
I do.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with clothes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But the dishwasher, it was like I would close it. 2 seconds later, it'd be open. But not just open. You would have the whole track out.
Right.
And then you could tell like the frame was like hanging because it's like holding all this weight. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. But now you can't do that because if you leave the dishwasher open, it's blocking the pantry and it's blocking the entryway to the kitchen.
Right.
So I think now you've just migrated to the drawers for some reason.
I haven't migrated.
You have. Because now you don't really leave. You'll leave the cabinets open in the kitchen sometimes. And I'm just waiting for the day that one of us is going to fucking just hit it so hard with our head. Forehead, top of the head. Something's going to happen.
And maybe that'll stop. I mean, whenever we have kids, we'll just have to baby-proof everything. And
it'll be adult-proofed as well.
Yeah.
Tony-proofed.
Exactly.
I just think it's interesting, and I want to get to the bottom of why you leave those doors open.
Honestly, I don't like think about it subconsciously where there's a method like.
Because you're such like a OCD type person, so it's very strange to me that you constantly leave cabinets and drawers open. It doesn't make any sense.
I think a lot of it has to do with just me talking through it now. I think a lot of it has to do with I'm just very indecisive with a lot of stuff. So like, you know, if I'm wearing, you know, my jeans, right? And like today I needed to go out. Did I keep them open today?
Yes. I closed them.
So if I like wearing my jeans and I'm going out, I know I'm going to be back in like a couple hours when I get back from work, and I'm going to change to go work out or something. So maybe I keep it open to save me one less step. I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't know either.
I don't know what it is.
I honestly don't know.
I'm not the only one. There's got to be other.
I don't know anybody else. But it's not just like one drawer. It's literally
it's not like I don't need something and then I just randomly go and open drawers. Right, but I'm using the drawers. So I'll use them, I'll open them.
Underwear and the socks and the shirt and the hutch part.
But I open it because I'm getting stuff in there and then I just don't close them. It's not like I'm fully closed and I'm just like, these drawers are closed. Let me go and open them. Like that doesn't happen. Like. No, that's not what happens. No, it's just like I need some new panties. So I go to my panty drawer and I crank them up, grab some panties.
And then
I just don't close it.
So strange.
I don't know why.
So strange.
I mean, I can't do everything right. I do a lot of things right. I can't do that right, though. I don't know why. I'm working on it.
I'm going to Snapchat you every single time just so you're aware of how many times that you've done it. Like I Snapchatted you once last week, but it was literally every day. That was just the one day that I just remembered to Snapchat you.
Well, Je ne sais.
So now I'm just gonna do Chronicles of Tony, and just every time I'm gonna video a snip.
Yeah. But, all right. Well, let's not talk about each other's flaws, okay?
What's something that I do every day that's pretty common?
Live. I'm just kidding.
That's rude as fuck.
That was rude.
That was rude.
I don't know. You don't do anything. You're perfect. That's big.
He's a liar. I married a liar.
I mean, I can't think of anything that's super annoying. I mean,
Something that I do every day that you're like, fuck, Brenda.
you probably know more than I do. I'm sure I say
Me?
something every time. I'm definitely vocal about everything I hate. It might be because there's so many things that I just don't remember them.
Rude as hell.
No, I just mean like I just, it's the way of life. It's not like I'm mad at you for it. It's not like
But there's got to be something that you're like, damn it, Brenda, why do you do this? Or what the fuck?
I mean, the soap thing in the shower kind of irritates me.
You'd think
So she'll
eventually
take-
you'd get
Hold on,
over
this
that.
is not, you did your piece. So she'll, okay, so like I'm okay. All right.
All right. Gather
Now
yourself.
things are I'm starting to think of things.
Oh. Gather yourself. Tread lightly.
So, like, she'll be in the shower and
Mm?
she naked, and I'm naked,
Mhm.
No, but like she'll be in the shower and, normally you're wet already, obviously, right? When you're in the shower, the water's coming down. And then you just put on soap and you rub in your hands and then you just put it on your body. This is what normal people do. But my wife, however, she's already wet. She'll grab the soap. She'll put it in one hand in her palm and then she'll grab a little bit of water with the other hand and she'll like drizzle the water over her hand with the soap. Like,
It makes it more
hold on.
lathery.
No, stop. Your body's already wet. Most people would just take the soap and rub it on their body because the water from your body, when you rub it, that's like, okay, great example. When you wash your hands, what do? You do soap first.
No.
Well, you do water, obviously. You do water,
Obviously.
then you do the soap, and then you go straight to the thing and you start rubbing. Straight to the
You
faucet.
do water,
Right.
soap, water,
But
and lather.
right.
So it's the
No,
same
no.
thing.
But how do you grab the water from the faucet to wash your hands? You don't grab it. You just put your hands underneath the faucet.
No, but only a little bit, so I'll go like that.
Right.
So it's a similar
But that
thing.
wouldn't bother me. That's not the thing that bothers me because I do that too. What bothers me is you take your clean, non-soapy hand and you put water in it and you drizzle.
Yes, because if I go if I do a lot of soap and we have high pressure shower.
Hold on.
So
Like
if the high pressure shower hits my hand, I'm losing all the soap.
It's
gonna
like
wash it off.
you're putting pepper on a steak. Like you just kind of like with the water
No,
and
I
then
just
you
go like
rub.
that.
It's not the pressure. So the pressure in a faucet is stronger than the shower. These are facts.
Yeah, but I can kind of
You
control.
can do that in the shower.
But sometimes you're in the way. Like if your whole body's taking the whole bottom part, I have
All
to
right.
grab it from the top.
Okay, that's justifiable. I'm just saying it's a weird thing. It doesn't bother me.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't bother me to as much as the drawers that I keep open. But just the fact that you do it and it's so like you don't even think about it. You just do. It's so much work to me, I feel like, by doing it. You just the drizzle kills me. It's not that it annoys me, it's just hilarious. I wish you guys could see it, but you're never gonna fucking see it. But I wish you could because it's just like a little boop, and then she'll wash, her already wet body. So it could easily be lathered already. It's hysterical.
Mm.
So anyway, that's one thing. I mean, not a whole lot of others. Especially after how you reacted to this, I'm not going to tell you the rest.
There's more?
No, I don't think there is. I don't know. I mean, nothing bothers me. But I mean, I'm sure you do things that are bothersome, but I don't. I mean, even like if you ask what bothers me about my friends, I mean, nothing really bothers me. I'm just not. I just don't let a lot of things bother me, I guess.
Mm.
So, like, if you were to do something that was like, my buddy comes over and is like, "Yo, dude, Brenda just did this. Like, that doesn't bother you?" And I'm like, "No, she does it every day." Like, I just wouldn't even think about it because nothing really affects me. I don't think. Like, subconsciously, I don't think it affects me.
Interesting.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
Like, as I'm trying to think of something, like, gun to my head. I honestly, I don't know. I like really want to think of things. I don't know. There's nothing I've said to you that, babe, stop doing that you can think of?
The fact that sometimes I say a little extra involuntarily. It's like I think out loud after I should have stopped. Kind of like when people try to rap and, they don't end on the rhyme type of scenario.
Yeah, you do a lot of that. I mean, you do that more than anything. But again, that doesn't bother me, though. It's just kind of, it's just funny. Like, I'll say something like, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we got Dean Martin and some Christmas music going on in the background. Hopefully you can't hear it. Because then I did a good job soundproofing this with these things. But yeah, like you do things like I'll be laying on the couch or something, and then my stomach will go. Normally, no one would say anything, but Brenda would be like, "Oh, your tummy's making noises?" And I'm like, "Yep." Like, what do you say to that? But that doesn't bother me. But it's just funny.
I can't help it. It just comes out.
It's cool, man. I dig it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little bit extra. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
You want to wrap this up now?
Unless you got something else to say.
See, we had this conversation. No, we had this conversation.
I'm doing this for you.
We had this conversation.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah. Exactly. If that's how you really feel. And I'm going to keep this part in so all the listeners know that you don't want to talk to them.
Not about talking to them.
So every time I try to get her on the podcast, she loves talking, as you could imagine. We've been going for I don't even know how long. She's talking her fucking head off. She's talking about cabinets and drawers and, the things I do wrong in life, the things I do right in life, like holidays, all types of. She loves it. But to get her in this room, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the worst things. You know what annoys me? But that's what annoys me about you. That you don't want to go on the show all the time.
That I'm not as what's the word?
Charismatic? Outgoing?
I'm charismatic.
Beautiful? No, you're as beautiful as me, if not more beautiful. No, I mean, it is my show, but sometimes I like to.
I'm just not as charismatic about being in front of a camera and listening to my own voice and ooh.
Yeah.
That's cringy.
Well, that's why we don't do the headphones anymore, so she can't hear.
Yeah.
What she sounds like. If I'm being fully honest, though, you know how much I love interviewing people and talking with people and having people on the show, but it's just been so hard because, I could do things virtually and that's easy, but like my last couple of podcasts have been fantastic. But the reason I can't, I'm just not, I just like being in front of people and talking to people. It's so hard for me to do this virtually. And I would imagine that's with a lot of things. I mean, even our Christmas party for work, it was virtual and it was like 15 people were trying to talk over each other. And I'm just like, oh, this is my nightmare. I just can't. I hate when people talk over each other.
Same.
Like, I just love interaction and you can watch each other and you could wait for the person to get done and then you talk. It's like this cool game that you play
Honestly,
when you're having conversations.
exact thought.
Yeah.
I would rather hang out with people in person, even though I'm weird though. Like I'm super introverted, but I'm also like an extrovert to a certain extent, only when I want to and for how long I want to.
And depending on how much liquid courage you have up in you.
Accurate.
Yeah.
So
In this case, it's 2 glasses of wine in case you're keeping count.
Mm.
That's the magic number.
But yeah, it is like that. Like I hate the virtual thing. Like, I mean, I had my virtual thing today and it's just like 9 people. You never know who's talking and you're talking over each other. And it's just
Mhm.
like, I just sat there with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
I chimed in when like everybody got quiet because I hate when people are talking over people or like I
Right.
hate interrupting people because I hate being interrupted. So like if someone's talking, I don't want to like stop what they're doing. And if somebody else chimes in, I'm not going to interrupt them either.
Yeah.
So I just sit there and I just hold on to my thought
Mm-hmm.
until there's a quiet moment. And then I'm like, oh,
Yeah, and even then, like, there was a couple quiet moments today where I'm like, oh my God, I got such a funny joke to say, or I got such an interesting thought, or like, I want to say something here, or, ooh, this is something that someone could learn from. Like, there's so many times I want to interrupt, but then it's so manic and so crazy in these virtual things that I'm almost like, just fuck it. I don't even want to. I'll text them later. I don't want to deal with this right now. Because, then it's like I'm repeating myself. I'm doing my. That's why these like virtual podcasts are cool. This new software I'm using. Shout out to Ecamm Network, because Ecamm is this new program that I'm using. I'm using it right now to where I can automatically set up cameras and do things. And when I'm doing interviews, it's like this interview mode where I could just send a link like Zoom, and then I could control everything. So I can control the volume of that person, of me. Like I can control everything on my end.
Mm.
So I kind of like this thing Ecamm, and it's only for Apple users. But that's been making it a lot better. So my last like 3 or 4 podcasts has been like that. But like the ones that I used to do with like just Zoom was awful, because if you ever use Zoom or like Microsoft Teams is just like that too,
Mhm.
where if you talk, the person that talks is what they call the lead voice.
Mhm.
So then if the other person is trying to talk, it automatically mutes them. So you won't be able to hear what they say anyway if you're talking over them. So it's good and bad. It's good because then there's no like loud projection vocals from both people, because that would be annoying, right? But automatically that's why you hear like people cut out when they talk over each other in Microsoft Teams or in Zoom. And it's just so frustrating. Ugh, I just can't stand it. I want to go back to like face-to-face podcasts. And that's why I like having you on. Because it's face-to-face.
Mm.
And
You
I
get face to face with me all day, every day.
And I wish I could record every single time we talk, because it's always a great conversation. And I just want everybody to know that you're a good conversationalist. And you're not as introverted as you think.
I guess not.
And by the way, thousands of people listen to you. If that freaks you out.
Yeah, you shouldn't have told me that.
Well,
Can I go ahead and revert to my shell now?
you can. Turtle, turtle, turtle.
I was about to do that.
Well, beat you to it, introvert.
Turtle. You did it better. Turtle. Oh. Always one up, eh?
I'm a turtle in a turtle shell. Turtle, turtle, turtle.
Speaking of movies, so it's the holidays. We've ducked out a good amount of holiday movies because we've been doing nothing but just sitting at home and, doing work around the house and watching holiday movies, getting rid of Christmas. Been doing that since November. There's some good holiday movies out there, though. You got a favorite that we have watched, like recently? Not that we haven't watched, because the ones we haven't watched, right? Like the Four Christmas of the World, the Santa Claus, like not those yet, but the ones we recently watched. Maybe one that
were newer?
That were newer, or maybe that we haven't watched. Like, I'll give you mine. You ready? This will give you an example. So we've watched this every year since it came out, but one of my favorite movies now, that's a Christmas movie, is The Night Before with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That is a hysterical movie. Doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. It's very raunchy and dirty, and
I mean, I don't feel like it's as raunchy as
It's like a Superbad type of feel, I
Yeah.
think.
Honestly, that is
But
a
great
pretty
movie.
funny movie, though.
It's a funny movie.
Very underrated.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, when he's on those drugs, oh my God.
Oh my God, it's so great.
Fuck you, baby.
So like that's a really cool, fun. And then we just watched The Office Christmas Party for the first time. We've tried to watch it in years past, but we always like watch it like at 10:30 p.m. We always fall asleep.
Yeah.
But we finally watched that. That was pretty funny. It was good. It was okay. I mean, I probably would watch it every year just because there's not a lot of like aside from the Santa Clauses and the the four Christmas, like all the routine Christmas things you do. It's kind of cool to switch it up a little bit to get some Christmassy stuff in there.
Yeah.
So that's a cool one. That's a good one. But like, was there a movie that stands out to you that we have watched in the last like 4 weeks that maybe someone out there could take a gander at?
I'm very bad at titles and things of that nature.
Yeah. How was Holidaze? I didn't watch that one.
I mean, it was cute, I
So-
guess.
Chick flick on Netflix, BTW, in case you want to check it out.
It is definitely a chick flick.
I
I
fell
mean,
asleep.
it's cute. It's all right.
Yeah.
I
I feel like we just watched another one recently.
We did, and I'm trying to think.
I don't remember.
Damn it, it has left. I mean, Mom's Bad.
That's what it was. That's what I was thinking of.
Christmas.
Mom's Bad Christmas or Bad Mom's Christmas, whatever.
Bad Mom's Christmas.
It's the sequel to Bad Moms.
Yeah.
Is it Bad Moms?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That's a funny one, though.
I mean,
That's
it's
hysterical.
It's funny.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's a good one.
The things that happen in there, you're like, yeah, I wish I could fucking pull that shit.
That's a good one. And some of your parents are probably like a couple of these folk, too. So you're like, oh, Mom, is that you?
Yeah.
And then what's one that you're looking forward to watch? Like, because, I mean, this upcoming week is Christmas. So it's like, we got to duck out the classics, the OGs.
Yeah. I mean, Four Christmases is always on my list.
That's a great one. That's a great movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It just brought me to like the part where they're in the range, or they're like, great. It's like, what's the safe word? Mistletoe. Great. Let's
Let's go. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Oh,
That's probably one of I would probably say that's because you can't, when you say favorite Christmas movies, you can't count Santa Claus, The Grinch,
yeah, because those are
Christmas
actually
Vacation.
favorite ones.
You can't count those. That's like saying, what's my favorite mafia movie? You don't count The Godfather because that's already like
A given.
the creme de la creme,
Mm.
Like, what's my favorite Al Pacino movie? You can't count Scarface because that was the best. And the Christmas movies like fall in that line, Christmas Vacation. But Four Christmases is like probably my top non-classic
Same.
Christmas
That's
Vacation.
my jam. I
Yeah.
love that fucking movie.
It's a great flick. What's another OG that we normally watch? The Santa Claus, of course. All three of those are great.
Yeah. Even though the first one's still my very, very favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Tim Allen figuring out the whole Santa thing is hilarious to me. I don't know why.
I'll tell you what shocked me that I haven't seen in years. I don't think we've watched together. It's been almost 6 years. It's Home Alone 2.
We just watched it.
No, I'm saying like prior to us watching it, we haven't watched together.
Oh.
In 6 Christmases almost.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, that one's
Home
good.
Alone 2 's strong.
It's good.
Doesn't give enough credit to Macaulay. I think he gives a lot of shout outs to, the OG, but the second one's just as good, nay, as good
Mm-hmm.
as the first one. Yeah.
I mean, that one was good too. It was good.
We haven't watched the third one. I don't know. It doesn't have Macaulay. I don't know if you're gonna. But I do remember seeing it though as a kid. Home Alone 3.
I don't recall.
I think it was pretty good.
Ever watching it.
It's got Sacha Baron Cohen in it, I think.
Does it?
Borat. I'm pretty sure he's one of the like villains. It's
Interesting.
one of his first gigs.
Odd.
I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, there's some good ones out there.
But I always like the good OG classics like The Grinch, Santa Claus, Home
Yeah.
Alone.
You know what surprises? The first time we watched it last year was The Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey.
It was a lot darker than I expected it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what the original is. That's the thing. Like,
That's based off the book.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to go in person, I think I tried to make you watch it a couple years ago, but I'm a big Bill Murray fan. So Scrooged, I thought was a great Christmas movie. It's a classic. And that's, you might have fell asleep. I don't know if you finished it, but that's a really good movie. It's, I mean, the story of Scrooge. So he's Scrooge, but it's like in the 90s is when this was made. So, you know, he goes through the same things Scrooge does, but it's in a very Bill Murray funny type of way. So that's a great one. And then, you know, I forgot the, what's the Matthew McConaughey one? That's a classic. The Ghost of,
Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
yes.
It's not really a Christmas movie, but
Well, it's got the 3 ghosts. Isn't that a Christmas thing?
yeah, technically.
But Matthew McConaughey with his shirt off, count me in.
He doesn't have a shirt off in that movie. Matthew McConaughey.
That's all up here.
Period.
Right.
But
When I was watching that movie, he had his shirt off the entire time. As I was undressing him with my eyes. But
hashtag me too. That was one of those moments. Live.
yeah.
Should've kept that
Says
one.
the girl that doesn't like podcasts. She just looked into the camera, right into your face,
I
and loved it.
what? I gymmed it.
You gymmed it. Wait, you gotta wait till the camera switches to me. Hold on. Oh, really? Yeah, that's what. Hasn't done it yet. Yeah. I'm telling you, this eCam thing is money.
Cool.
I'll leave a link in the description. You get a little discount if you know me. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal. But yeah, eCam, if you stream or if you listen, you know, you host a podcast or if you do anything with the internet and the cameras, you need to get eCam because it's bomb.
Cool.
But yeah, so a lot of good Christmas shit. It's exciting. And then after, you know, this time next week, that's it. Game over. No more holidays. Except New Year's, but it's like, usually New Year's is, you know, you go for the parties and who knows what COVID's going to bring us at this point.
I actually brought it up to our neighbor, Rachel. Maybe we can do like a street thing on New Year's.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, like maybe everybody, you know, pitches in on some fireworks and we'll just hang out outside, set up tables, whatever.
Yeah, that's a real good idea. Maybe by that time I'm going to finish the patio, I think, tomorrow. Lay the rest of the block and stuff. And then maybe we could do like, I think what might be kind of cool is like, do like an open, we can call it a backyard New Year's Eve. And maybe we go like bar hopping, but to each other's backyards. That'd be kind of rad.
Yeah.
That we're just not, because Halloween was fun, but we were out in the driveways for like 4 hours just talking.
Yeah, so
I mean, you know. All right.
at least at that point you can go to your prospective homes and not have to deal with anything. Like if they're in our backyard, like what are we going to do? Kick them out? It's better to have them in the public area.
Yeah, I mean, I would kick him out, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You won't.
So I think we're gonna have to call it a night.
And if like, okay, yeah, we'll leave in a bit. Brenda will just be like,
Wow, is that your impersonation of me? It's not what I do.
what else annoys you that I do? This was fun. I kind of like this.
Do you?
I do.
I mean, it's just leaving the drawers open and so it's something that you do that you definitely don't realize that you do, but I laugh every time that it happens. For example, like if you're putting something like, let's say a box comes and you put it in the garage, you don't put it off to the side. You put it in the fucking way. So it's like I walk out, I'll trip over the box instead of there's plenty of room to put it where if I walk out, I won't trip over it. So like you'll put something on like the bottom of the stairs to bring upstairs. Instead of putting it off to the side, you put it smack dab in the middle. And I get why you do it because you want to remember to bring it upstairs, but then you even step over it.
Can I tell you what annoys me? What annoys me is I'll put something at the bottom of the stairs to bring it upstairs, and I'm still downstairs doing my thing. She'll go upstairs with empty hands, and she'll kick whatever I put.
I do not.
She'll
kick.
move it.
I'll move it out of the way.
She'll move it, and she knows it's supposed to go upstairs. With her empty hands, she does nothing. And she just walks her cute little ass upstairs and doesn't bring it up with her. That happened the other day. It was like something that we used for the wet bar or something upstairs. It was like, I don't know, I think the bar shaker because we had margaritas or something.
I
And
brought
the bar
those
shaker.
upstairs.
Hold on, it was something like that. I don't know if it was that. Take it easy, Liberace. All right? But it was something that was at the bottom of the stairs. He didn't walk it up, and then I had like a cup of coffee or something, and I was gonna go upstairs, and I'm like, did this bitch just walk upstairs with her empty hands and nothing? And now I gotta like try to juggle this thing because once I see something, once I do it, I have to walk up. Multiple trips is ignorant to me. I hate multiple trips. I like to do everything. Like that's why I get all the groceries in 2 arms. Everyone knows it. You're a man if you do that.
Mm.
And I do it every time.
Mm.
So yeah. That one's on you.
No.
And the whole box in the garage thing, that's only because I tossed it there just because I tossed it
it's
there.
not even, that was just an example.
Mm.
But like just in other times, it's like there's plenty of space for you to put it out of the way of a main walking area, but you put it halfway in the middle.
I can see that.
It happens often.
But again, it's only because, I want to remember to do things.
Yeah, but then you walk right by it, and then it just sits in the way for days and days.
Not days and
Like
days.
the gloves and the Vaseline right now in the stairs. You put them.
That's because I don't know where to put them.
Exactly.
I use them for the backyard.
So you put them in the middle of the walkway. So there was only room for my tiny foot in between that and your sandals that I had put up there because of the vacuum. I had space for 1 foot. And then there's plenty of space to put it on the side to where it's not in the way of anything. And it can hang out there until we figure out where to put it. So I moved it to the side. And it's
Alright.
still there.
Was it is it in the side now?
Yes.
All
I
right,
put
good.
it towards the side.
Good. Fine.
But it wasn't there initially.
Great.
Great.
Good.
It's just funny. I literally laugh every time. Like even I just took the trash out and you
It's like 12 boxes, I know.
but you organized the boxes, but the way you organized it, there was no entryway into getting into the house. Like you lined them up all the way to the end, and I had to move 1 box at the end to like the other side in order to actually have a clear walkway to go into the thing when there was room for that other box somewhere else. It's just funny. I laugh.
Well,
Because if I didn't move it, I would have had to step over it, all kinds of things.
Oh, God forbid.
It was funny. I just laugh. It doesn't bother me. It's just funny to me.
Yeah.
Because that's just the guy brain. It's just how it is.
Well, and also, when I put things there, I put them in the garage. I throw in the garage and I just throw it.
No, you
know?
line them up, but it's fine.
Yeah, but I line them up, but I don't like get out there and take out a level and line it up. I just, toss it out there. So the newest one is closest to the door. Because that's the way I did it. I started at the end and, I lined it up. And then, tomorrow I'm going to use those boxes. I'm shipping out a bunch of fun stuff to, some of our clients for work and stuff.
It's just, if you ever played Tetris,
I'll
kinda
fucking
like
crush it.
Yeah. Because the way that I saw the work in the garage, you would have lost because the row would have all the way been to the top.
Mm.
You know what
Whatever.
I'm talking about.
Whatever, dude.
It would have been a straight shot to Loser Town. There it is again. Okay, bye. I'm done here.
All right, that's it. We're done. How long has it been?
I don't know.
9:15. We're about done. We're about done with this. But all right. So listen, hey, this will probably be the last time we talk to you before the holidays. So Feliz Navidad. Happy fucking Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. I appreciate everybody listening to the podcast. This will be like 92, I think. Believe that? 92 episodes?
Wow.
That's a wicked amount of fucking cards, kid. Tons of fucking episodes. But it's been quite a journey. Very exciting. I've been in 3 houses doing this shit. How about them apples?
And boy, oh boy, has it progressed.
Yeah. And it's only been about 18 months, so I'm really looking forward to 2021. I'm happy.
For the best.
Yeah, hoping for the best, for sure. I think things are getting in the right direction. I think this has allowed us to, everybody, to just kind of take a step back, realize what's important, realize what they got to do, focus on your hobbies, focus on your family, your spouses, the things you want to do in life, what's important, and, focus on you more than anything. Get good at the shit that you like to do and just take your time and don't stress about shit. I was listening to this last podcast and I'll leave it at this, but I was listening to this podcast earlier today, and there was this astronaut and he's been in space for 200 days and he just got back. So I think the longest guy that was in space is some Russian cat, 470 something days. This guy has been in space, and they get back from space and they're like, they have this newfound perspective on life. And as he was saying this, because this was like pre-COVID, so as he was saying this, he was talking about like new perspective of life and, everyone's human and blah, 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 blah. And then I think about, like my clothing brand, Be Human. And I'm thinking about all this stuff. And I'm like, it's COVID is kind of like isolated us a little bit to almost think that we're on our own little planet. And then I started really thinking, I'm like, okay, so if I'm on my own planet, what's the first thing I want to worry about? I want to worry about who I'm with, keep whoever I want, safe, whoever's there. But then also, how am I going to keep them safe? So I got to protect them and I got to feed them, right? So really, that's all that's important. Mm-hmm. And I would imagine when you're up in space, that's probably their thought process is, it's just them in space and they're just looking down on Earth, and Earth is this tiny little fucking thing. And like during COVID, that's really what I've realized is like, nothing is really that important. It's like just a couple things that are important, and the rest is kind of like, eh. Like what people think about you is like, eh. My friends that talk to me or don't talk to me, I'm not going to let it bother me. My friends are having a bad day at their work and, their girlfriend and boyfriend is being abusive to them. Okay, I care. Sure. A little bit, maybe. But do I? Like, because if I worry about them and they don't listen to my advice and their life keeps getting more shitty and they dump that negativity on me, their life is fine because they think they're in the right, but then they're dumping negativity on me. So now my life is shit. But if I just block out that negativity and I just worry about what's happening in my life and not worry about everyone else, I worry about my little planet, right? Like me and my circle. And if that happens, everything else is good. And it really put things in perspective for me.
It's true.
Yeah. Just take care of yourself. Be happy.
Only put in what people are giving you as well.
Yeah. And last thing this guy said to me that really hit home was like, he goes, how did he word it? He goes like something like, he goes, the earth has been here a lot longer, the earth has been here before us, long before us, and it's going to be here long after us. So everything you do in your life, no one's going to remember. Like, we're not looking back at,
We are grains of sand.
Right. Like, we're not looking back at what people did 5,000 years ago and analyzing every single person. Yeah, there might be like a book that we called the Bible that was written 5,000 years ago. And yeah, we read it, but it's not like we're picking apart each person very meticulously. Like no one's doing that. So no one's going to look 5,000 years from now and be like, Brenda did this and Brenda, no one cares. No one's going to care. So what happens is now, today, that's important. What you do, that's all that matters. That's it. Just do that. Yeah, man. Because you only got 50, 60, 70, 80 years if you're lucky. So don't use those 80 years to worry about shit that doesn't affect you. You know?
Yeah.
Tell you that.
That's all, folks.
buddy, that's all, folks. Hey, I promised some deep shit on the podcast, and it hasn't been that deep. So now I gotta throw in some deep knowledge on you guys. But with that, we do thank you for listening to the podcast. We do want to say happy holidays, and we do want to say be healthy, be happy, love each other, be you more than anything, and cheers to a
better 2021.
Indeed. Well said. All right. Well, thanks for listening to the Berardo podcast. I'm your host, Tony Berardo. Everyone, please give a round of applause to my wife, Brenda Berardo.
I'm an Instagram wife.
No doubt.
Social media wife.
Yeah. If you do follow her, make sure you send her a DM and be like, yo, dude, get on the podcast more because we like it. All right. We out, folks. Peace.